working out at home, working on his wife's Peloton to keep himself in shape, and he delivers the first pitch on the corner for his
to the plate. He can throw it away to a lefty and down and into a lefty also, like that one right there.
Matt.
One side or the other. You can't chase this guy back and forth on both sides of the plate.
He's ahead 0-2 on Edman, who makes contact right side. It gets through. Missouri on the 8th of April, 6 shutout innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, and he finds the zone against Dylan.
Respect that he might throw something beside the cutter.
Carlson's had big numbers in the first inning. His first excellent starting pitching early on.
Nasty cutter.
Last year for the NL Cy Young Award, probably would have rated higher, as Carlson does not bite.
He's not afraid to run deep counts and go to that cutter, 3-2.
And Carlson chases 97 that dips down, and going up against Paul Goldschmidt, number 3 hitter for St. Louis. 1 out and Edman on second.
Bury that one down and in like he did to Carlson for the strikeout on the 3-2 pitch.
Goldschmidt makes contact.
That last pitch to Goldschmidt was the 2-seamer inside, and that's the equalizer right there where he keeps guys off the cutter a little bit.
Now Arenado gets one pass short, and that's going to break the ice for the Cardinals.
Pitches on the plate, so there's his aggressive early in the count and try to get a run home right there.
And that one's lifted to shallow center. Kane racing in, going to be a tough play, and it drops. And Arenado joining us for the inning. Adam, how you doing today?
Good. How are y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
We're great. And say,
hey, Adam, what are you doing out of the locker room? How many deviled eggs have you had?
It's got to have some smoked barbecue on top of it, or some barbecue sauce. Great job of working down. That's his bread and butter, and then off of that, working up in the zone. He's getting those lefties up and in, up across the top, and then down and away and down and in for Chase. Much more fun.
In what way?
I'd say, I won't say more fun. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, the game stopped being fun. And cast it where you're trying to throw it to with any kind of authority. So glad to get over that hump. There's a lot of people that worked really next door and hang out all night playing video games and whatever, and playing cards and just talking baseball. My life, how to change the way I lifted, the way I ran, the way I conditioned, and the way I pitched a little bit. I changed my arm slide. When you're no one really wants to know that, because everyone should know that I'm the better player. And it is nasty, 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 and hard to hit.
And he gets Bader and sets a new record. 52.
Up in a really important part of the game, and I didn't give in to him. I mean, but I wouldn't have had 52. So either way, Corbin's better.
Bravo, Corbin. And that's Kisner finding some open space for a base hit. Fourth.
Looked over. Baseball is a funny thing. Like if you got a no-hitter going or something, you say, man, who has an incredible idea of the strike zone yesterday, chased the ball over his head, because Halsey was throwing 100 miles an hour. So you can get away.
But isn't there still room in the game of baseball for the craft of pitching and not just throwing?
No pitcher should be happy about coming out of the game after 4 or 5 innings. And I think it'll come back around. People
on YouTube, we have our first question out there right now. You can check those out throughout the game. Please participate, and we'll get the answers from Dan and Matt as well as we continue along. We have a few good ones coming up today. First one has the best Cy Young chance. Those results coming soon. It's Tommy Edman to lead off the 3rd inning. Edman, Carlson, Goldschmidt. Edman scoring the only run of this game so far. That a 3 strikeout second, 4 total in the game.
Corbin Burnes, it's just why he's so difficult to center and hit.
Off speed pitches.
And he's going after another record. Let's bring it back. Most strikeouts between walks. A gem against the Tampa Bay Rays.
How about that? 12 strikeouts, no walks, 8 innings. All this Jordan Montgomery, Giancarlo Stanton, white hot right now. All of a sudden the Yankees are hitting, they're pitching, and
full term, long season. You know, I think last year you could overreact because it was such a short season, but I think when you look at 162,
Burnes wanted that last one.
Carlson swings right through.
Middle, and guys have a hard time hitting. He's not afraid to challenge the middle of the plate.
And Matt, that's what Kenley Jansen did.
He has to try to be too fine. When he gets behind in the count, he can rear back and throw that cutter and just aim for the middle, which a lot of guys can't get away with. This place might go nuts if the walk record gets broke right here.
And no more Craig Counsell for the rest of the game as you saw him head to the tunnel. Ejected from the contest here in the third. Carlson sends one to left.
You know, it's interesting when John Paul was talking about the wind, it looked like it played Jackie Bradley pretty much.
Cover in center field 1 year with Boston. Goldschmidt takes the pitch down the pipe.
96-97. Takes a little bit off. That's almost the slider at 86 miles an hour. So we've seen the cutter, the slider, and we've also seen the curveball. So he's just not a one-trick guy.
Goldschmidt lines that one.
Nobody can see him and help manage the rest of the game, but maybe he'll turn it right over to Pat and just kind of let him go with it. Second time through, he's mixed in the curveball and the slider a little bit more, and maybe the two-seamer a little bit.
Lazy fly ball. Who wants it? Urias finds it in the sun, and that's it.
That and go, wow, you know, it's very creative, and it takes a. I guess you have to really be confident in yourself to go ahead and keep that look and make that look your brand.
It's
right?
like a tower. It just keeps growing.
I don't know that I could pull off the blue, and you said there's more colors added to it. He pulls it off pretty well. He's got a.
In it. We saw him work yesterday. Here's the 1-1 to Carpenter. It sails away. All right, one more helper. Brandon Woodruff talking to us earlier about some sunshine today in Milwaukee. Corbin Burnes, long relief, high leverage. He's there. And Burnes spots that one beautifully for the strike.
That's a tough, change up right at you. That's a tough pitch, an accidental, very tough pitch.
Hey.
You know, Tyler O'Neill is one of these guys that and the speed and the ability to be an elite offensive player. He's just a little bit too much swing and miss for me right now.
It's a video game. Which button are you pressing here?
This is a tough spot.
Burnes gave up a run in the first inning, but he's been rock solid ever since.
56 strikeouts without a walk, matching the current record held by Garrett Cole and Curt Schilling. That's an easy one with Yuli Gurriel, but guess who wins? Fernando Tatis Jr. also can bring it. His hair game is strong. Couldn't convince the crowd. And there was John Gant. We showed you our other option with the long locks.
Yeah, I think he got a tip that I was going to be doing this game, and decided that he'd rather listen in the clubhouse and really.
Third inning. You don't shake Yachty either, as Kisner fouls that one back. A ball and 2 strikes.
Shouts on the day so far this day, and he's thrown the ball as well as he's thrown it all year. He's been about as good as it gets right now.
Make the ball move the other direction a little bit.
Good battle here for Kisner, and he loses out on it to Corbin Burnes. Strikeout number 8.
Places for their development is the pitching lab at their spring training home in Arizona. Corbin Burnes, Brandon Woodruff, Devin Williams with that dynamic changeup. All of them can trace some of the field as well.
They've done such an incredible job with their pitching staff, and we've seen some of their young arms really develop. Cole has a number at 56 in a row. He pitched yesterday, so Burnes passes him for now.
Cutter to both sides of the plate. That's what makes it nearly impossible to hit. There's the backdoor action on the slider.
Of the rubber is pretty uncommon. I mean, you could talk about that a little bit about where you place your foot on the rubber.
Or towards the first base side. You almost have to cut that thing on the outside part of the plate to get it there. But he's found to throw that cutter, particularly down and into lefties when he's needed to get a strike. That's pretty much been his say.
The first with a single. Only man to score today, and he's on board again.
The Cardinals or anybody in the NL Central.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that for sure.
Burnes, Peralta, Woodruff. That one sails away. It's still him back on a big league hill as soon as possible. So here he is with the runner going, and there's the throw. It's high. And another stolen bag for Tommy Edman, his 7th of the season and 3rd of the series.
Well, really, the stolen base has been a difference in a game.
A lot of runners have a hard time holding that base.
Carlson ships one to center. In comes Kane. He's got it. And